Hello Pisces, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for February 2022. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now what I'm going to do now is give you a broad overview of what to expect. But please stay with me because I then will dive deep to give you in much greater detail all the key dates, the moon phases and the astrological influences that will impact on you. So without doubt, the standout moment of this month is the 18th of February, because then the Sun returns to your sign. That's going to move you into the present. But you know, Jupiter in your sign, your traditional ruler, is actually really forging some delightful links right at the start of this month, which can see you coming into February in good heart, potentially. But I have to be honest, the new moon on the 1st is very closely aligned to the planet of restriction, Saturn. So please stay with me while I unpick that for you, and that will help you, I hope, to negotiate the challenges of this month, but most of all, seize the wonderful opportunities that there are for you. Now, if you are new to my channel, I would be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. This means every time I drop a video, you'll get an alert. I've been doing YouTube for absolutely years. It's just that I went through a period of quite chronic ill health. And so, you know, I was doing the work, but perhaps, you know, I wasn't doing it as much as I wanted. So if you can support me to raise the profile of my channel, I'd be very grateful. Also, if you want to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, I've been writing these for over 25 years, totally free, and it would be a pleasure to share. Please see the link to subscribe beneath this video. Finally, if you want to ascend above this Zodiac broadcast and understand what the next 12 months holds for you as an individual based on your personal astrology, please see the link below, because you get my character analysis as well in my special package. You can get 30% off and gain Syrian insights as to what to expect right through to the start of 2023. Hello Pisces, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for February. So the big news this month, without question, is the Sun's transit into your sign on the 18th. And that's the beginning of a brand new cycle. For you, your 12-month cycle, which always begins in solar astrology with our own sun sign. But of course, this month begins with a new moon in the 12th house, so the end of the cycle in all the other zodiac signs, and it is very closely tethered to Saturn, the planet of structure, but also potentially the planet of restriction. This is a really interesting month because that's a very powerful new moon, and it's going to provide a backdrop for the whole of the month. But it also is a month that gives you the opportunity to embrace what's exciting and fresh about the big picture, about people you can rely upon, that you can invest your energies in, and this month therefore can give you a lot of uplift. But I think there could be some people leaving your world, and I think that can be very disappointing. But there can also be some joyous entrances to your situation, and that's something that you need to stay attuned to, because if the more restrictive energy of Saturn on that new moon really affects you too much, you could miss the wonderful platform that February is really creating for you. And the reason for that, to be honest, is that your traditional ruler, Pisces, is Jupiter. Now you know that Jupiter returned to your sign for the last 3 days of last year, but at the start of this month it forges a fantastic link to the energetic and rather restless vibe of Uranus in your sector of everyday communication. But it also angles brilliantly to Venus and also Mars. And they're in your sector of friendship. And Venus and Mars, from the beginning of week 2 to the end of the month, are in a glorious alliance. Venus's retrograde has ended, and Venus and Mars together is a very alluring combination. The 11th house where this occurs, and also the Earth sign of Capricorn, is about the big picture. It's about your future, but it's also potentially about your friends. Now, it's possible that you're going to provide some kind of leadership role in a group situation, or people want you to come into a group, or you're going to find that someone within a group is strongly drawn towards you. This doesn't have to be in a romantic context, but it could be. It's just that that Saturn influenced new moon is really going to, I think, give you some real decisions to make, some real black and white decisions of whether you actually bring to a close something that just isn't working. Now, that could be a long-standing relationship, it may be a friendship, it may be a job you're involved in, where you feel a heavy emotional or spiritual baggage. That's where you should be looking to bring things to an end, because releasing yourself from that on the back of the sun's transition or ingress into your sign really sets the platform for you to be catapulted forwards in a much more dynamic way. But you may have found yourself humming and hawing about what to do, and part of the reason for that has been the retrograde to Mercury, which began on the 14th of January. But the shadow period of Mercury began at the end of last year. So this really mulling over what you want from your future has been going on since then. And whilst, like most of us, or many of us, you may have set your intentions and resolutions for the new year, there may have been a little bit of a suspicion, even with yourself, that your commitment is not total. And that's because something has, I feel, been asking you an important question. Are you really gaining the same level of satisfaction from something that you may have done for a long time? It may be an involvement you've had, it may be where you've been incredibly invested, but if you're not feeling that same spark and level of inspiration, it's possible that you're feeling quite underpowered, that you feel lethargic, that you are suffering with headaches, or you just feel a little bit psychologically on the low side. So what this month is saying to you, particularly with that glittering set of influences involving your ruler, the arrival of the sun, but crucially as Mercury moves back to Aquarius on the 14th, and then we have the full moon on the 16th, if your physical, emotional or spiritual health is not at its optimum level, I think what the planets are asking you to do is to cut out of your situation what's really weighing you down. And once you release that energy, you'll be so much lighter, and all sorts of situations that you may have been looking at in a little bit of a skewed way can just clarify. You can relax, and I think really future forward, what the planets are asking you to do by the end of this month is think really imaginatively about how you can be at the heart of anything you do. If you're just burdened by a feeling that you must fulfill some kind of contract or service or commitment to something that no longer feeds you, that's the thing that needs to make way. Also, Neptune in your sign, very spiritual influence, forges a magical alliance to Venus in the last 10 days. If this rings a bell, it's because we came into the year with this. Venus's retrograde is making it happen again. But it's a glorious opportunity to set your sights high for a higher vibration existence of what you are really worthy of. So that's a complex new moon to tackle, and I think it's about an opportunity to cut out anything that's no longer serving your greater good. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay well, take care, and goodbye.